Okay, here we have the WPS4015 300-meter camera. It's a dual view camera, which I'll show you later on the camera itself. Okay, so we have the actual cable reel. We have the controller box over there in the orange case, and then this is all the bits and pieces, the accessories, and this is the centralizer that goes onto the camera. I'll show you that later. Okay, as we fit the case, you'll see there's two metal plates here, which basically go into the side of the case, and you just slide it down, just make sure the handle's down, and it clips in so that now it can't shift or move off. Okay, I should open this before the time. There we go. Okay, two catches. Okay, the catches, make sure you push it down before you open and close. Okay, there we go. There's sun shields on the monitor, so they can either go flat back, which it's magnetized, so it will stay back, or you can velcro it onto the top piece like that, and there you've got your monitors ready to view. The shields will help for the sun, and you get a good picture that way. Alright, so this is the layout of the unit. In the accessories bag, you've got all your cables. Alright, firstly your power cable plug, then you have a 2-pin cable, which is your power to the winch cable. They are all the cables are clearly marked with little labels. Okay, then you have a 4-pin, which comes to the counter unit. I'll show you now. And then you have the this is like 8-pin, yeah, 8-pin cable, which goes to the camera. Okay, so we'll just plug those in quickly and show you where. Which will show you what's in here. Okay, it's also your manual. The manual, there's a microphone over there, a USB for transferring data. It all comes in the package. All right, there's this is also the power cable it's also a 2-pin, which goes to your battery pack for the 24-volt DC operation. And then inside here you get some spare O-rings, screwdriver, spanner, and then there's a little pot of silicone grease, which you will use to lubricate the O-rings every time you remove the camera from the cable. I'll show you that now. You have your battery, your 24-volt 50 amp hour lithium ion battery and charger. The charger will charge the battery in about 5 hours. Okay. Battery up, and you'll see there's your plugins. If you push the button, it'll tell you the battery's level, 28.4. If it drops lower than about 18 volts, then you should recharge it. Okay, there's a 3-pin connector. You'll see on the red one here is a 3-pin connector that goes to the battery. The other side is a 2-pin, which goes to your controller box, the DC in on your controller box. Yeah, the charger also has a 3-pin, so the charger just plugs in there when you want to charge your thing, and it's automatic charger. You can leave it on, it will automatically switch off once the battery is charged. Here you have your power cable, the 220-volt cable coming from a power supply. It can run off 220 volts, or it can run off 12 to 24 volts, either 12 to 24, but preferably the 24 volt input. Okay, so that's our power coming in. You can see it immediately lights up the display there, showing you the power. All right, then the next one that we have is your counter. This is the 4-pin counter unit. Alright, so here's our depth counter encoder, and so that goes in there. Just turn it lightly and fasten it up. Alright, and then show you the depth counter. Here we have the depth encoder. As the wheel turns, it encodes. So again, you just turn it slowly until whichever way, there we go, and it goes in. Alright, can only go one way. That's the encoder for the wheel. While we're here, just going to quickly fit the cable. Okay, so here we have our cable end. Alright, so we take it over So we just pop this screw undone, put the cable over there, didn't on the sand. Okay, there we go. You can also adjust the height by pulling that out and adjusting it. But it's normally best at quite a high height. And then there's also an arm here to stop it from if it does tip. The 2-pin connector, which goes to the winch power. There we see winch power. Pop that open and we put it in. There we go, and fasten it up. Alright, then we come down to the side by the controller box or the winch motor box, and we see this is the 2-pin on the left hand side. And again, just turn it slowly in and lock. Make sure you lock the little sockets every time, otherwise they might not make good contact. Alright, then while we're down here, we quickly connect the camera's cable as well. Again, this is the 8-pin connector, so we put it in, fasten it. Okay, and back up to the. Okay, you'll see this controller can do a pan tilt camera, or it can do the downhole camera. So here we have the camera's connector, and it can only go one way. Okay, so there we go. All the connections are done. Okay, we're running at the moment. We're going to be running from 220 volts. So I can put my power supply on there, and okay, so that's on. This is switched over to AC. Okay, the switch either switches to AC or DC. If you're running from 24 volts or 12 volts, you would switch that over to DC. At the moment it's on to AC, and you'll see our battery, the internal battery here for the controller, is busy charging. This is your camera mounting is in the side of there's a camera mounting. This is your camera. Okay, we have the side view camera, which rotates 360 degrees. Okay, at the moment there's just a film over here, and then we have the front camera, which is looking vertically down the hole. So this is just where you would store your camera. Always make sure it's nice and dry. Alright, at the back of the camera there's a steel cap to just protect the connectors while you're transporting or storing the camera. That can go into the bag. Okay, and then when we're going to connect up, you'll see there's 3 little guide pins there. And what we do is we just put a little bit of silicone grease around the O-rings. There's 2 O-rings. There's one here on the side, which is the one you would replace regularly, and then in the bottom of the connector over here there's another O-ring at the bottom there. Okay, so close that, make sure it's nice and lubricated. So you see there are 3 little pins, and those 3 little pins need to line up with the 3 little holes there. You can see them. Okay, there we go, got them lined up. Okay, and you're going to squeeze the camera on until it's flush and you don't see any gap between the camera base and the cable. Then you screw the first ring on. Okay, using both hands, one on the camera and one on the ring, you turn it as tight as you can. Feel the back, it should wiggle a little bit. You can wiggle it a bit, turn it tighter and as tight as you can. Then you're going to take the next one. Remember, this one is counterclockwise thread, so you're rolling this one down like that, and you're just going to bring it till it's tight, hand tight against that, just to secure that. Then you'll see your camera is very firm and there's no chance of any water getting in. Fit the centralizer, put on the camera like this. Okay, you're going to come off. Okay, go all the way past, and over here you're going to clip it over the cable. Wait. Okay, we've clipped it over the cable. Is this one in the way? Okay, and then you're coming back again with a centralizer. Okay, don't make it too tight. Alright, then what you're going to do is you're going to push on the centralizer. so you get more or less the width of your borehole that you're busy inspecting. Okay, there we go. Now it's ready to go down the borehole. We'll keep it nicely in the middle as you lower it down into the borehole. Okay, I'm going to store it here for now. There we go. Alright, everything's ready to go now. We've mounted the camera, we've connected all the cables, the power's on. Alright, now we're going to power up the unit. You'll see that although we've put the AC on already, the unit's still not powered up. Here's your power button, push that. Okay, just to run through the layout of the controller box. You have your 220 volt input with your on and off switch there. So it's 110 or 220, 230 volt input. And just below that we have 12, 20 to 24 volt input. That's from the battery pack. Okay, you have to select between AC in and DC. Either the power in or battery. Alright, just below that we have our power button. So once you have power on, either from the DC or from the AC, you can then power on your unit and you see it lights up when it's powered on. Your battery indicator, if it's flashing like it is now, it indicates that the battery for the controller unit only is busy charging up at the moment. Okay, there we have a USB port for this little pop-up thingy, the cover. You have a USB port that you can use to transfer data from the SSD drive in the unit to the USB to transfer it and pass it on to clients. Alright, here you have your DVR controller, operating keys, your menu button, your record and stop. This button is to pause while playing and also to select when selecting a folder. And then this is your navigation keys and OK or enter in the center. Alright, here we have the top again. You have a little remote control that you can use for the DVR, for the recording and for the stopping and starting while you're at the borehole face or whatever. Little speaker there to listen to the sound once if you've recorded anything. We have the lighting, the LED lighting dimmers. Okay, this is for the down view camera, to minimize the lighting or to increase the lighting. And the same on this side, we have the side view camera. We can up the lighting and down the lighting on those two cameras. So this is just the lighting control for the two cameras. Okay, it's a bit bright. Okay, just below that we have where you select your cameras. You either select your side camera or you select your down camera. To your side camera, I'm going to pull the camera up. You can see the front view camera. Okay, I've just put the LEDs off. That is basically your front view camera. And then here we can select between just directly from the AV or from the DVR. So this, at the moment, what's on the screen is the picture coming from the DVR digital recording device unit. Okay, just below that we have the Wi-Fi transmitter. So if you push that on, then your Wi-Fi transmits. You can then download the app and you can watch the AV signal via the Wi-Fi on a tablet or a phone or anything like that. You can also do recording on a tablet or a phone and then directly upload that to a client. There's your microphone input, again on and off. There's a little microphone jack here. The microphone is in the accessories bag if you want to use that. Alright, going to the right hand side. Okay, here we have all the plugs. This is your cable going to your encoder. That's the power cable going to the winch, and there you have your cable going to the camera. Okay, the multi-core cable is an 8-pin camera. You also have another connector there for your pan tilt camera if you choose to use one like that for this set. Alright, okay, here you have your emergency stop for the winch. You push that, it'll immediately stop the winch if anything goes wrong. Okay, just turn it, twist it, and it unlocks again. Alright, here you have your winch controls. Alright, you go wind up or wind down, and then here's your controller. There's an off, click off, and then it speeds up slowly as you increase the rheostat. Alright, and below that you have your controls. This is a cap. You have your controls for the camera, the rotation of the camera. If it was a pan tilt camera, you would use all these buttons, but for the dual view camera, which is supplied with this set, you are just panning left and right on your side view camera. Leave it on one. It's going to rotate the camera, and I can just keep continuously rotating as you do your inspections. Okay, then you have your keyboard. Okay, the keyboard has a whole lot of functions. They are listed in your manual, but basically you can do on-screen text. If you push F9, it goes off, and F7 and 8 switch off any on-screen displays. But there are a whole lot of other functions as well, which you can just have a look. Mainly it's used to just put on-screen text, so labeling your borehole or the point where you're busy doing an inspection. Label it, and that'll come on the video as well because it's on-screen text. Sorry, there's your counter, feet or meters, and you can reset the counter. So I'll push, just going to show you quickly. That's feet to meters, and they are push back to meters, and they are reset the counter. Okay, there's securing brackets for the case, just to secure the case so that it doesn't fall off the tray. You have some nice sturdy pneumatic wheels. You don't have to pump too hard, but make sure they're not flat. With this little arm here, you can adjust the height or the angle of the boom that goes, the camera boom, with the counter on. You can adjust it by just pulling it up and down, and you can adjust the height of that. Here we have the motor and gearbox. Okay. Storage tube for the camera. You have your reel. An adjustment screw there, and fixing screw at the top where you can lengthen or shorten the reach arm, the arm with the counter. Here you have your counter unit. Your encoder sits inside here, and as the wheel turns, the count goes up and down.